Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most persistent and chilling mysteries in all of cryptozoology, the idea that pterosaurs, the flying reptiles of the dinosaur age, never truly died out. Imagine for a moment a creature from a lost world, a leathery-winged relic soaring through our modern skies. It sounds like something straight out of a blockbuster movie, a creature confined to the fossil record, turned to stone millions of years ago. You see their skeletons in museums, magnificent and alien, with wingspans that could rival a small aircraft. The official story is clear. They perished 66 million years ago in the same cataclysm that wiped out their dinosaur cousins. But what if I told you that for over a century, people have claimed to see them? Not just see them, but photograph them. The legend persists, whispered in online forums and debated in late-night conversations. It's a tantalizing thought that a creature so ancient could still be hiding in the forgotten corners of our world. We're not just talking about vague shadows in the sky. We're talking about photographs, grainy and controversial, that purport to show the impossible. The most famous of these is a haunting image from the American Civil War, allegedly showing soldiers standing over the corpse of a monstrous, bird-like reptile. It's an image that has fueled the debate for decades. Could it be real? Could a creature from the time of Tyrannosaurus rex have survived into the age of the rifle and the camera? We're going on an investigation, peeling back the layers of myth, hoaxes, and tantalizing evidence to ask the ultimate question. Are there pterosaurs among us? The idea of giant, reptilian creatures ruling the skies isn't confined to the fossil record. Ancient texts and folklore from around the globe describe beings that bear an uncanny resemblance to pterosaurs. Long before the first pterosaur fossil was identified in the late 18th century, cultures were telling stories of flying dragons or winged serpents. In Europe, tales of dragons were rampant, often depicted with leathery, bat-like wings, not the feathered wings of a bird. While many were fire-breathing monsters of fantasy, some accounts read more like encounters with a real animal. Perhaps the most compelling link comes from the Native American legend of the Thunderbird. Across many tribes, from the Pacific Northwest to the Great Plains, stories describe a colossal bird, so large its wingspan could block out the sun, and the flapping of its wings sounded like thunder. While often depicted as a supernatural eagle, some descriptions deviate significantly. The pictographs left by ancient peoples, like those found at Alton, Illinois, depicted a creature known as the Paisa bird. The original petroglyph, described by missionary Jacques Marquette in 1673, was of a creature with scales, horns, a terrifying face, and a long tail that wrapped around its body, features more reptilian than avian. But these ancient artists have been depicting a living creature, a memory passed down through generations of a surviving pterosaur. Even Herodotus, the Greek historian writing in the 5th century BC, spoke of winged serpents in the region of ancient Arabia. He described small, reptilian creatures with bat-like wings that were said to be dangerously venomous. While mainstream historians often interpret these as embellished accounts of snakes or other known animals, the descriptions are eerily specific. Begs the question, were all these ancient cultures independently inventing a similar-looking monster, or were they describing something they had actually seen? Believers in living pterosaurs point to these stories as a pattern, a collective memory of creatures that science insists vanished millions of years ago. The evidence suggests, they argue, that humanity and these flying reptiles coexisted far more recently than we think. When we look at the science, the case for living pterosaurs faces an enormous challenge. The scientific consensus is unequivocal. All pterosaurs went extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period, 66 million years ago. There is simply no known fossil evidence of any pterosaur species surviving past the KPG extinction event. Have a population survive for that long without leaving a single fossil record is considered a near impossibility. Paleontologists argue that for a breeding population to remain viable, it would need to be large enough to leave some trace, a bone, a tooth, a footprint, somewhere in the 66 million year gap. None has ever been found. Furthermore, the biology of pterosaurs makes their hidden survival problematic. These were not small, easily concealed animals. Species like Quetzalcoatlus had wingspans of up to 36 feet, the size of a modern fighter jet. An animal that large would need a significant amount of food and a specific environment to survive, making it difficult to go unnoticed. Skeptics propose that many supposed sightings can be explained by misidentification. Large birds like the frigate bird, with its impressive 7-foot wingspan and angular silhouette, or even large bats like the flying fox, could easily be mistaken for something more prehistoric, especially at dusk or from a distance. The human mind is excellent at filling in the blanks, and the desire to see a monster can often turn a mundane animal into a mythical beast. Then there is the issue of atmospheric composition. During the Mesozoic era, the oxygen levels in the atmosphere were significantly higher than they are today. Some scientists believe these higher oxygen levels were essential for powering the flight of such enormous creatures. The lower oxygen content of our modern atmosphere might simply not be able to support the metabolism required for a giant pterosaur to get off the ground, let alone hunt effectively. It's a biological wall that is difficult to overcome. So, from a scientific standpoint, the deck is heavily stacked against the survival of these magnificent reptiles. The lack of fossil evidence combined with biological and environmental hurdles makes the existence of modern pterosaurs an extraordinary claim requiring truly extraordinary evidence. Despite the scientific skepticism, the stories haven't stopped. In fact, the 20th and 21st centuries have produced some of the most intriguing and controversial evidence.